Okay, tutorial 3, question 1. So you need to write down the matrix, and all the entries need to satisfy the stated conditions. For example, A is a 3 by 4 matrix, okay, which means A has 3 rows, 4 columns, right? So in total, it should have 12 entries. So what are these entries? Okay, they need to follow this condition. Aij is equal to 1 if I is smaller than j, which means if it's number of, which means if the row is smaller than the column, then the entry is 1. Okay, if the row is equal to the column, the entry is 7. If the row is greater than the column, the entry is 9. Okay, so for example, okay, this is the A. We have 3 rows, right? 3 rows and 4 columns. Okay, for example, this first entry, it's on the first row, first column, so it is A11, right? It's A11, so I is 1, J is 1. Okay, when I is equal to J, then that entry is 7. Okay, so that's why this entry is 7. Okay, similarly, A22, right? When I is equal to J, the entry is 7. A33, the entry is 7. Okay, and for example, this one, it's A12 because it's on the first row, it's on the second column, so it's A12. And now I is 1, it's smaller than 2, right? I is smaller than J. So when I is smaller than J, the entry is 1. Okay, so this entry is 1. So similarly, this entry is A13, right? 1 is smaller than 3. Okay, so it is also 1. Okay, this entry A23, right? Because it's on the second row, third column, right? 2 is smaller than 3. So again, this entry is 1. So actually all these entries, right? So all these entries above 7, they are 1. Okay, then this entry, right? What about this one? This is A21 because it's on the second row, first column, so it's A21. So now I is 2, j is 1, 2 is greater than 1. Okay, so the entry should be 9. Okay, same reason here is A31. 3 is greater than 1, it's here, so A31 is also 9. Okay, same reason here. Okay, matrix B. Matrix B is a 4 by 4 matrix, so this what we call a square matrix. The number of rows is equal to the number of columns. Okay, and Bij is 1 if the absolute value of I minus j is greater than 1. Okay, otherwise, if the absolute value of I minus j is smaller, is less than or equal to 1, then the entry is negative 1. Okay, so again, this should be B, right? It should have 4 rows, 4 columns. Okay, again, you just need to write down each entry. For example, this one is called B11. Okay, and now the I is 1 minus j is 1. The result is 0, right? Which is smaller or equal to 1. Okay, the absolute value of this is smaller or equal to 1. So B11 should be negative 1. Okay, so you just need to follow this, and you just need to do this for all different entries. For example, this second entry is B12, right? Because it's the first row, second column. So B12, right? I minus j's absolute value is 1. Okay, it's still smaller or equal to 1. So this entry, it should be negative 1. Okay, you just have to do this for all, you just have to do this for all 16 entries. Okay, you just have to do this For example, this one, right? This one is B13. It's the first row, third column. Okay, and here I is 1 minus j is 3. The absolute value is positive 2, which is greater than 1. Okay, so this B13 entry, it should be 1. Okay, B14 is also 1. So just do the mental arithmetic for all 16 different entries. Okay, you can get the answer. All right. Last matrix. C is a 3 by 2 matrix. It has 3 rows, 2 columns. Okay, so Cij is 1 if I is equal to j. Okay, Cij is 2 to the power of I times 3 to the power of j if I is not equal to j. Okay, again, let's write down this matrix first. 3 rows, 2 columns. Right, 3 rows, 2 columns. So first, C11, right, C11 is when I is equal to j, right, C11 is just 1. Okay. Right, then this entry is C12, right? First row, second column. Right, first row, second column, C12. Okay, it's 2 to the power of 1 times 3 to the power of 2. Okay, following this formula, because now I is not equal to j. Right, 1 is not equal to 2, so the result is 18. Okay. So this part is 18. Then you just need to do the same thing. Right, you just need to do the same thing for all different entries. Okay, C22, right, C22, because now I is equal to j, C22 is 1. Right, for example, C21, so now I is not equal to j, so you apply this formula. It's 2 to the power of 2 times 3 to the power of 1, so it's 12. Okay, so C21 is 12. Right, C31, applying the same formula, right, C32.